give up too much to get him. You must be happy with the result.
Oh yeah, you go into every trade period with a bit of a strategy, and our strategy was to get some support for Oscar in the ruck, and we identified Darcy early, and end of the trade period we got what we wanted, so we're pretty happy with how it all ended. Yeah.
Given his capabilities to also play down forward, does that come into the equation when they're not ready to come back to mid-season?
Yeah, no doubt. He's played 8 games of AFL footy, Darcy, and in his first 3 games he kicked 3 goals in his first game and 2 in his third, so he's got the capacity to play forward and mark the ball down there. Also, he's a quality ruckman. Not sure if you guys remember, but we played a game at the SCG last year against Geelong, and it was one of his games he played, and he tore us apart in the second half of that game. So, we've got a history of knowing what he can do in the ruck as well. So, he can be a ruck combination with Oscar, or he can play forward and go in the ruck. We've got that versatility now, bringing him into our organisation, which is good for us.
So they could play together?
Yep. No reason why they can't. I think we saw a couple of years ago Steph and Oscar were able to play together in the same side, and both play forward at times in need. And I think the ability to have 2 ruckmen in your side always puts pressure on the opposition around the ball, especially. So, Oscar, for example, he's burdened the load so much this year and played 90% in the ruck and done an outstanding job. But if it becomes 70-30 or 60-40, you always got pressure on the opposition where it counts in the middle at centre bounces around stoppages. So, there's no reason why they can't play together.
You obviously mentioned cover for Eric a little bit. You've been missing him for a while. How's his rehab going, and when's your ballpark of back?
Yeah, Eric's trekking along really nicely. Probably a couple of weeks ahead of where he meant to be. We've actually sent him on a holiday this week just to get him away from the place. He's been working that hard, and he's got this great desire to get back as quickly as he can. We're not putting any round figure on when he should be back, but ultimately it could be around 10 or 12, all things being equal and everything going well. But we don't necessarily put a time frame on it, but hopefully we get him back at some stage mid-season.
It's never a bad thing to have ruckman in reserve, isn't it? It's such a crucial position. Never a bad thing to have ruckman on the bench.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it depends on your side, how you play, what you want to do. So every club's different. And how they want to play their ruckman and whatnot. So the potential to play him on the bench and come on into the ruck is something as well we can look at.
That game you mentioned, where he did excel. It's funny how things can work out, isn't it? He impressed you that day. You want more of the same, of course, for you guys this time around.
Oh, no doubt. And unfortunately, at Geelong, he probably hasn't been given the opportunity with their ruck setup and how they play. So, as I said earlier, we identified him early as someone that we could target, and we feel that he can be a great acquisition for our side and fills the need that we need. We're pretty happy with how our list is evolving and where our list is at, and we just felt that he was someone that could add to that and potentially take us to the next stage of where we need to get to.
So just one more, it sounds like you can touch something more out of him, more to what he's been tapped into so far?
I think so as well. I think more so. I think at some clubs it doesn't work out, and when you get a club looking at you, it probably makes you feel a bit better about yourself. And the opportunity for him is now one where he can come up here and impress us and do what he needs to do, knowing that we'll give him the opportunity if he's performing well and training well, and that he'll fit into our side and the style of play that we want to do as we go forward in 2022.
So the fact you just got the one player, can we read from that you think there's enough internal growth to get you over that next step?
Yeah, it's easy to just look at the one season like this year, but if you look at the history of the trade over the last 3 or 4 years, we've been heavily involved in the trade period. I think we've had 11 players come in 4 years, which has been great for us, and they've been quality players. This year we thought that, one, with list sizes and also the capacity with your TPP payments being where they are, that was a great opportunity for us to identify that one player. Now we've got 3 spots to go to the draft in. So I've got pick 14 and 18 and 41 currently. So we haven't had the ability to enter the draft in the last 3 years with a pick under 20. So we thought it was a great opportunity to go back to the draft, bring some quality young talent into it. And as I said earlier, the position of our list is pretty strong. So, sometimes you have a year where you're not involved in the trade as much and you go to the draft and get good young talent in. So, that's our strategy this year.
Any areas that you're looking for those players that you might pick up in the
Oh, look, Steve Canal, our recruiting manager, does a great job in that area. So, when you get to a pick like that, you generally take the best player that's in the draft and who's left. Obviously, if that's an inside mid, it's an inside mid. If it's an outside mid, it's an outside mid. So you're always looking for the best player, but you're always looking to fill gaps in your list that might be there. It'd be nice to get some outside runs still into our list, but ultimately at 14 and 18, you generally take the best player that's available in those spots.
How's Cam Rainer going? He'll be right to start?
Yeah, he'll be ready to go at the start of pre-season. Another recruit for us, really, when you think about it. Hasn't played at all last year, and with his rehab, he's been able to work on his running, which is probably an aspect of his game that we're always looking to improve. So, with adversity comes some positivity as well. So he's been able to work on that, and he'll be cherry ripe for round 1 next year, which is great for us.
Hannah showed me a photo of it. Do you know where he's from, Danny? Is he from this way, or is he?
Well, I think he's a Queensland boy, and I think his partner's from Cairns. So, and his dad lives. Yeah, that's.
Oh, he's a young man. He was a young man here, eh?
Yeah, so his dad lives in Carina. So he's got some family connection up here, and obviously a Brisbane supporter from way back. So I'm sure he'll cop a bit off the playing group when he gets here about that photo. So it's there's karma in life, and he's back where he belongs. So
This will be on Channel 7 tonight exclusively. But that's great. It actually says welcome back, once a Lion, always a Lion. So his heart and soul. So you've got someone who wants to be here. Absolutely.
Oh, he does. We spoke to him via Zoom, as is the way this year in the world, and about 3 weeks ago, and he gave us a bit of a history about his upbringing from Brisbane and how he barracked for Brisbane, and so he's got some family up here, and his partner's got family here, and it's all worked out well for him.